Hello, wild wisdom warriors. Hello, YouTube. Hello, dear shamans from around the world. This is Lily Kolosova, and this is my journal. So, thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. I'm going to be talking about wellness or unveiling the mystery of wellness. And so, what I want to kind of bring this or start talking about is about the building blocks of wellness and what does it mean for a shaman to be well, and what it is that ultimate journey of a shaman is that wellness. Okay, and this is what I've talked a lot about that in the past, and I've talked of this from the perspective of healing, right? And looking at healing ourselves so then we are able and capable then of healing the collective levels. And so when I talk about all of that and all of that about healing during 2014, 15, and 2016, and we've been talking about that, you guys. But now, since we are coming to this sort of a collective level healing and what approach to take, and I always say, a healing has to be on all levels: mind, body, and spirit. Okay. And so I want to talk about this holy trinity of wellness today. And that is a holy trinity of wellness: it's healthy mind, healthy body, and healthy spirit. Okay. And that's the key to wellness. And so in sustaining that wellness. And so today I want to touch on all the mysteries of healing. And then of course I'm going to let the cats out and unveil some of the key sort of key knowledge that shamans are sharing, because I hear this from other shamans, and like I said, and I hear this in the collective. So then I'm voicing that for everyone else and for you, my dear shamans, my dear friends that are joining me. So thank you so much, Diane, Anna. Hello, Bella. Hello, darling. Happy Tuesday. Happy 420. Belated 420 to every one of you. I hope you all got to enjoy some flowers yesterday because those are healing. So, Leanne, my sky, my Nagas, thank you so much for being here, you guys. Thank you, thank you. So, I'm going to be drinking today my virgin mimosa again. It's just that I'm kind of still in a 420 mood. So I'm going to be having some of the strawberries. So I'm going to have my pink mimosa today. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for joining me. Yes, yes, Anna. I want to talk about healing. I want to talk about wellness. And I want to start to take down some of this dogma things around that surround this process, of the being in equilibrium as a human being and knowing the self. And so I want to talk about some of the dogmas about the healing and all of that stuff. So here's my pink pink virgin mimosa. So to you, all my shamans, thank you so much. It is all your hard work, and so that I'm voicing here. So this is just, sort of my contribution to, in knowing the sort of my soul family in a way, knowing that we do this here on this level together. Okay, as shamans from around the world, this is what I talked a lot about. Why the purpose for me is to talk about, I'm talking to that rainbow tribe or the 13th tribe, as many Native Americans have predicted. And the other, other traditions have predicted this here, and especially the Turtle Islands. Like I said, I like to follow those prophecies. Not so much follow, but I keep those prophecies in the back of my mind. So here's to all shamans and to all the ancestors um, that brought this knowledge to us. And so, what I am just going to be doing in the honor of my ancestors is just sharing, the knowledge on and unveiling some of the mysteries on the true wellness of human beings. So, here's to all of your wellness, my dear shamans from around the world, whoever's joining me here. I thank you so much for being here with me on this journey. And so, to your wellness, my darlings. Love you all. Divine. Love it. Okay, you guys, it's really the spring is here, and so it's really nice and really sunny outside, and it's beautiful. So, and the other thing is, you may see it's too much light. My blinds here actually came off the wall. And so I have no control over daylight, and so it is what it is. But just so you know why this is too much light, okay? If it's too much light for you guys. Okay. So, Portland, my sky, thank you so much for being here. Comfort, sunshine, thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh, you guys are all here, warriors. Amy, hello. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I really appreciate you all coming here and joining me. So, I really want to start with the building blocks of wellness. And this is the mind, body, and spirit in alignment. And this is the Holy Trinity. And this is what I say, the activating Holy Trinity to opening up that alignment between your mind and gut that I've talked about a lot in the past. And then, as you may see, and you've studied a lot about wellness or about health, and even what I've shared last time. And I do want to clarify the what I told you to do, the cleanse for your body last time. So I'm going to repeat that recipe today again. So then I want to clarify, and I wanted to say, so I might as well just do it before I go in. So, okay, since I started on this sort of mind, body, spirit, right? And so last time I talked about the body and how to start cleansing that, so then you can achieve this wellness within the body. And like I said, once you come to activate your sort of cosmic portal, which is the eighth principle, eighth hermetic principle, which is the infinity, right? And this is your cosmic connection. And so once you come to that point, you become this sort of a cosmic being, or you recognize the divine within you, that sort of that enormous, the spirit. You recognize the spirit presence within this body, and then that sort of puts you in this and many of you will know, and you've asked me, Lily, I feel at the stage where I do need to also help my body to align, and this your middle point, this is your heart point, this is the earth, because our body is of exact same physical manifestation in the form of like minerals and water and all of that, like I've talked about, as earth. So what happens here, and how do we achieve health? And what's the difference between health and wellness? Okay, again. So I wanted to talk about this cleanse, right? But before I go into that, right? This is just a cleanse. I'm not a doctor, so it's not a recommendation. I'm not recommending this for any sort of healings or anything. And because it's all natural ingredients, I'm just sharing with you. It's cleansing. It's like juicing. When people do juicing and they just juice stuff and they do the juice cleanse. It's the same way, because there's juices in there and stuff like that. But I wanted to give you a little bit more today too, since I just went ahead and blobbed out the recipe, and whoever's gonna go ahead and do it, what to expect when you start doing it, what to feel, because it is literally detoxing. And for this 21 days, it is an intense detox. And it's just very intense. So it's like a boot camp cleansing. Okay. So think of it that way. And all of the benefits that you're going to have, it cleanses everything in your body. Okay. Because it's just intense and potent. Okay. And so, but most important, and so when you do any kind of detox, the more toxins you have in your body, the more you're going to feel it releasing it. And so when you do that detox regimen, when you do that cleansing of your body regimen for 21 days, what you do is, this is what it is. It's a heavy duty cleansing. Okay. So you're going to be detoxing. So you should nurture your body accordingly when you're detoxing, meaning you're replenishing. So a lot of live food, so a lot of raw vegetables and fruits and all of that stuff in your diet should be including, so that gives you, replenishes your body. Because what you're doing is you're giving a very heavy, potent content of medicine to your body, that, and it's working overtime, like in overdrive, to cleanse everything, right? So you want to replenish that energy, and what you're going to feel is, you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel like toxins will be coming out of your body. You will I recommend, like, for those of you that it will come out of your pores. Okay. And so you will feel really, it depends on the level of toxicity in your body. You'll feel different. But I mean, when I after many years of kind of, because there was time in my life where I, um in my 20s and in my 30s, I didn't really, I I did other things. Did other things. I didn't do the cleanses then. So when I first time did this cleanse, it really, I mean, I didn't, let's say 10 years, I didn't really do any kind of cleanses. And then and then I started awakening, and I was like, okay, I gotta, and all of the things as spiritually, and then it rolls around, and so mind, body, and spirit, it all aligns. And so this holy trinity here, what I mean is, you're anchoring your cosmic holy trinity. And the way I do it, by accepting the body, you accept it, right? So here, right, so I'm going through some of these layers of my own self-healing. So I started doing this cleanses and stuff. So when I first did this cleanse, it's heavy duty. My mom was the one who made it for me, and I think I think it was my mom originally that made it for me. So once she made it and I had to go through it, it made me so sick when I first time when I took that spoon. I pretty much threw up everything, like whatever was there in the morning, because it was so disgusting. So some of you might feel like it will make you nauseous and all of that stuff. So if you have a really then you'll have to maybe mix it with other juices or add something to where it's not gonna, or if you have any stomach issues, because you got to understand you're taking a pure juice, garlic juice. It's it's strong. So this is what I'm saying. And so all of that hits your body, and so it starts detoxing. So your body's going to react. Okay? But don't be mistaken with the ascension symptoms. Okay, you guys? So, anyway, so now since I've cleared out about that cleanse, okay? And that's for the body, okay? And this is how we achieve. And since I do call myself a wellness coach, so this is where I talk about this is not a medical advice. This is a cleanse for the body, which is well known, sort of talked about on YouTube. So it's not like I'm giving out any kind of, secret information here, but yet these are the secrets. Because, when you look in our world today and where we are, and right now, we're at war with what? Pharma. Pharma had enslaved humanity. And so this is why I want to talk about why it is so important for us to anchor this holy trinity here in this body. Because without anchoring it here, we can't change anything. We can't. And so this is why I want to start talking about this building blocks of wellness or the Holy Trinity. So since that, so this is what again, I'm going to repeat the recipe. Hi Savannah. Oh, Ireland. Hi. Sugar, yes, absolutely, my sky. Sugar right now is absolute, because this is all about in your body what you have, just the same way as a parasite. This acts as same way as a parasite, because it it is ultimately is a parasite. So because it has its binary codes too. And we're talking about manifestation codes, or that third DNA strand now, as I talk about how to be operating on this living third strand DNA, like I've touched on last time, which I wanted to go back to that question again today. You guys, because it's very important to talk about, and like I said, like I talk about how our DNA is that part of that's the spirit. Okay, that's the spirit. Parasites love sugar. So anyway, 100 grams of really good quality vodka is what I use. So I just tell you what I use for my, this sort of boot camp cleanse. 100 grams of really good vodka. Okay. Uh, and then 100 grams of aloe vera fresh juiced juice, freshly juiced, okay? Real leaves, and then you juice them, okay? So you'll need juicer for this. So freshly juiced aloe vera, 100 grams, freshly juiced garlic, of course, best that you can find, 100 grams, and then your local honey, because the honey will realign your immune system, which is a building block to your health. So this is why I want to start with this, so then we can, and because this is why it includes that, because it's the building block, because everything comes down to immune system. And so what we want to do, why I want to approach it from wellness perspective and not from health. Because if you look from health, is dual health and then lack of health. And even if you look at the definition of two words, health and wellness are very different, right? One comes from a negative sort of, and the other one's is more sort of balance, right? Wellness center, meaning well in all. So that means, we are now looking in this reality from within, okay? And so this is why I say the mystery. And why is this the mystery? And why the truth of how to heal has been covered for ages. And then ultimately, the truth of healing, and ultimately we know that the true healers are the herbalists and the ones that have the ability and capability to anchor themselves within their body, this higher knowledge or the ultimate wellness. So this is how you can help to heal others, like I said, without knowing or being or vibrating on that level, right? You have no access to that reality, right? So it's not your reality. So this is okay. So this is why there is so much sort of mystery about wellness. But in isn't in today's world, don't we see exactly what is happening when we look from this perspective ourselves, from healed perspective individually, when we look at what's going on in the collective, what's happening in the totality. If we look at that, we'll see most of the people are sick. Most of the people are unwell. This is where we are. But yet most people have not approached their health from wellness perspective or from shamanic wellness, because it is shamanic wellness, because without including spirit, you're spiritless and you'll never achieve health. There is no wellness without spirit. And so this is why I bring up so much of how it is a spiritual wellness that we're anchoring by doing the work ourselves and then helping others in which way. My Sky, you said, yeah, I've been using local cannabis infused honey. Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, local and cannabis infused honey. If you want to put in that into the cleansing recipe, go for it. That will only help your immune system, because your cannabinoid system, endocannabinoid system, right? Then it, because it will have cannabinoids in it, right? In the honey. So what it does, endocannabinoid system then goes into rebalancing too. So you add in another layer to your sort of rebalancing of your being and anchoring in the physical body. So yeah, that's and this is why it works that way, because endocannabinoid system, it works from inside out, the balancing process, right? And so that is just the that system in itself, you guys, is just magical. Magical. Endocannabinoid system. Okay, so you guys got the recipe, right? And put all that together, mix it in, preferably in the, not in any plastic bottles. Don't leave this in a plastic, because it's not recommended. So in the glass bottle, preferably, for 21 days in dark place, in cool dark place, and then after that 21 days for first thing in the morning, 1 spoon, and that's the dosage. Okay, so 26 minutes. Just got through recipe. Yeah, Anna, you kind of do it. Yeah, 100 grams, because that's my mom's, from all the recipes that they had. My family is all, that's been tradition, that all this things. Herbalists, yes, that's what they are, my family. So so 100 grams too. So it's, each ingredient is 100 grams. Okay, Danielle, each ingredient is 100 grams of ingredient. Okay, yes, Anna, grams. Okay, Savannah, any advice on meditation for current times, sometimes to keep it simple? Well, I didn't really want to go into, what's the control opposition doing with their meditation, harvesting stuff, and how they harvest energy through that. So right now, the way you approach wellness is, meditation's not, it's not the way to go right now. In which way? In the way that we know meditation. Um, Hi, Teresa. Aloha. Quantum resting. It's exploring your own quantum field, is what I would say do instead of meditation. But for the mind, and if you approach the mind instead of, how it's there, blocking the mind, like what meditation does, is actually aligning the mind and God. And those are the things that you can do. And ultimately, you guys, in my wellness coaching, I do talk about, and those of you that had sessions with me, coaching sessions with me, that I talk about also doing physical exercises, like a breathing exercise and those type of things, to align your mind, to bypass the subconscious programming, and how you can trigger your mind into that alignment with, so you can be aligned with your higher self. And so since I do that, sort of, for me to be able to do my work, and so the hypnosis sessions that I do are, this is what they that does. So I kind of, through breathing, exercises, sharing with you the breathing exercises, and how you can align the mind also through some exercises that you can do in your room. It takes, a few feet of walking around and things like that to align yourself immediately, and then you're aligned. And so this is again the building blocks. And so but today, this is what I kind of, Savannah, wanted to talk about, just a little bit the basics of the wellness, and how do we approach it now in this fifth dimensional reality that we are creating, because we are creating this timeline. Because like I talk about, the mystery of how does this third, fourth, and fifth DNA operates. And so then it is, you might say that it is the quantum physics. Now we're poking into quantum physics on that level, and this is what the mystery is all about. And many people hold that knowledge, that knowledge, sort of as secret, and keep it as secret to themselves, right? And this is, I've talked about black magicians and how they do it. And so, and now, like I said, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be sort of showing you how this uh master slave sort of reality that these people operate on, and that this timeline is dying, and we're now creating this fifth dimensional reality, because this is the fifth hermetic principle, is 5D, as within so without. And so this is the reality. So we're now going to be and so this is why I say the divine human being has the ability and capability to be in equilibrium. But because we're working on, and this is why I want to approach this, because there's so much of the new age healers out there, as I said, that what I say, they're vampires in a healer's skin. I guess I don't know what else to call them, but you guys will know. And this is the mystery that they're trying to, because this is the power, where it lies the power right now. Today we stand at this in the world, and and today the world is standing at a crossroads. Humanity today is standing as a collective, right? As a collective, you guys, you're witnessing this quickening happening right now. If this is not visible today, this is quarantini hour, you guys. We're in quarantine. The world is being held hostage by pharma. It's either accept God program or be exterminated, humanity. Right? We're standing at this crossroad right now. And for me to stand here, like I said, I stand proud with my ancestors. This is the platform that I stand on. It's that life force, that spirit. But we're standing on, we're witnessing choice to be spiritless, to go with the mark of the beast, to be marked for control, to be marked like a slave, to accept that position. And that's why it takes a warrior to ascend into 5D. That's why it takes a warrior, you guys, because you have to do it yourself. And that's when you achieve wellness, when you accept your eternal self. And from that point on, now this is what I talk about. You, okay. So, whoever's here, are we having issues here in the group, in the chat, you guys? Hi, Jeff. We're in this incredible time, Teresa. I'm so grateful to be holding this ancestral wisdom and as my sword, as my shield, right? Like I talk about. And so we're holding that and we're moving forward and we're creating this, and we know that it comes through us. So this is where I talk about taking responsibility. And so what at the same time, then what hits you when I say, when you look from this perspective, and when you yourself achieve this, and when you anchor this, and now you guys, now the body aligns, and like I said, you've accepted that, and you've accepted your higher purpose. And that's a beautiful thing. And this higher purpose is to be the witness, to be your ancestral witness. And remember, you carrying within your DNA all of their experience. It is within that quantum field. And you have access to that, like I called it in the past, that living grid. And this is what they found, right, in the eye motifs, which are the third, fourth, and fifth, and on DNA strands, right? And then how they operate. And so, and now when we look at that, and now I talked about the endocannabinoid system and the finding of that, right, you guys, in the body, and how that system is vital to achieve wellness. And this is why do you think that pharma came in and completely eliminated that and told us that that organ that they found that goes on in between our belly, on top of our belly, there is an organ, the extra organ that was found. Well, it's not that it wasn't there, it's just there, there was another finding maybe a few years back, and what it has to do with the endocannabinoid system, right? We still don't have that discovery or any of the conversations about that, right? So, but we will, you guys, because we're talking about that. It will come up, and this is why hemp was completely outlawed in America and everywhere else, is because of that system and the role that it plays in our health. So but the thing is, if we're at this point, and this is why I want to look at this, and if somebody comes here and tell me, well, Lily, it's not so important to be spiritual, you can achieve health in all other forms. There is people that do this all the time, they but you don't have to You can do that, or like I said, you can do that still for others. You can help others, but not do it for yourself. You don't have to do it for yourself, right? And this is what the same thing is, tell you something else, or putting, or putting a band-aid on your stomach ache. This is what basically, when you truly, from this perspective, when you heal yourself and you know the journey and you find your ancestral wisdom, meaning you find your sword and you find that power within to stand up, like I said, stand up for your ancestral suffering, and you're standing up for the innocence that is suffering today, because you're in now moment. When you achieve that. But when people talk about having mental health, meaning shut your mind off, so it's just a vegetable and something else is operating you. That's what they want. That's what they want, right? And this is why things like that are being so messed up. And this is why I've talked about that most of the mind control operations involved this sort of criminal pharma operation, and all the pharma cocktails that are involved in this, and how all of this has actually become illegal, and how all the um, Satanism become operable in America, and how I talk about Eisenhower betrayal, right? You guys have talked about that, and how many of those people out there in the community are covering up for that Eisenhower betrayal. And a lot of those people are out there running around talking about themselves being healers and helping you to, help your body to heal, right? And so, and then I've also showed you guys what truly is happening is that they're covering for a horrific crime, horrific crime against human consciousness. But the only way to cover it is give you something, right? So then they can block your mind from seeing the truth. And this is why, so they keep the mystery of why and all of that stuff, and they give you healers. But healers, then what they do is, how this is what they, instead of helping you to cleanse and get clear in mind, body, and soul, gain clarity on all of those levels, so then the spirit or that intelligence, or that third, fourth, fifth, and whatever quantum DNA, as I say it, quantum DNA, as I say it, right? That all can then operate as one. And so then, as Native Americans say, that you are this great spirit. You are the manifestation of the great spirit. And this is what that sort of all is all about. And that clarity, and what gives you gnosis. And then you question yourself. And this is then in quantum resting, you receive from yourself the answers, right? You explore your own quantum field from within. And you're absolutely right, Teresa. What this so-called healers did these scumbags did is they protected Satanism. And under Satanism, they went ahead and created same people as Nazis because they were transferred here, came here, same people, right? And so that's how it all became. How do you cover for that network coming in and taking over from inside, infiltrating from inside? How do you seed infiltration from within? This is what seeded that infiltration from within, is that Eisenhower betrayal, as I talk about. And so what happened is, it was basically, how do you allow a network that requires children to experiment on genetically and to use for all these other reasons? There's so many different levels. How do you allow that kind of invasion happen? And this is how it happened. It happened through that, because then you spread the rumor that the agreement was not to allow all those activities to take place. The agreement is with some enemy or aliens. The bigger the lie, the faster that you just, it's so unbelievable to people that they're immediately going in the disconnect, and their subconscious is wide open for any sort of programming, right? And as you say, Teresa, and then normalizing it. So this is what they've been working on ever since. When did Eisenhower announce the spiritual invasion of America? When he left office. His last address to America was a present. Ta-da! I made an agreement with Satanists. America, congratulations. And ever since that, this is when we started all this. Club Idiots Assembly started all of their operations with children's and all of that stuff. So you guys can do all that research. It's not like, this is not out there. But all of that is part of, and out of that system came the New Age and the New Age healers. They're not healers, they're programmers. Okay? They're programmers. Because that's what it is. Okay. So this is the truth about it. They're programmers, because what they do is they program, because that disconnect is so huge, right? And so these healers bring you, like I talked about, what is that? Kinetics, Steve Richards. Steve about to give birth to Steve about to give birth to Wayne Serpent Richardson. Holographic kinetics. Okay. A total insult to Aborigines people. A total insult. Those healings. I mean, if any of the people, if any of the practitioners out there that still practice holographic kinetics right now, you're insulting. You're insulting Aborigines people right now. Every one of you. And don't tell me that, and don't go play stupid on me later that you didn't know. Every one of you are stabbing that tribe in the back each time you seed somebody with the reptilian tag. That's all he gives. Scum. He's a scumbag. And so each and every one of you that practice that, you're just as much as scumbags as he is. It's not wellness. It's the opposite of wellness. And insult to Aborigines people. Thanks, Diane. So what they do is they use that knowledge and they turn it into money, and then they tag people with this belief systems and all of that. But I'll come back to it, and I'll probably just wanted to kind of talk about it, but I'll show you guys. I'll show you because I watched them. They're so ignorant. I watch them do this, and they do it because they're narcissists. They do it like there's no tomorrow. They don't ever think they'll be found out. But it's disgusting. And so talking about wellness, so talk about this beer belly that's about to give birth to a reptilian, right? Steve Richardson. So let's look at where's the body health. There is no body health. How can someone help others heal or develop anything if he can't heal himself? Sick to the core. Absolutely, Anna. They make me throw up in my mouth every time I see their ignorance on display with the healing technique without petrol. Give birth to that wind serpent already, Steve Richardson. Just go ahead, please. Enough already. It's just, spitting and spitting and spitting on your ancestors for a buck or two. You have no shame, huh? Steve Richardson, no shame. Keep spitting into your ancestors' blood, rivers of blood, but keep spitting. Make buck or two, you freaking narcissist. Go ahead. Keep making that money off of your ancestors' suffering. Keep making that money. I guess ancestors didn't suffer enough. You need more of their suffering, right? Right, Steve? And your puppets out there that help. What they help is they help keep this Satanist network running. So they come on there and they tell, oh, we know how spiritually we helping humanity to heal spiritually. But what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing actually? What happened after Eisenhower signed that agreement with aliens? Children started disappearing. Children started disappearing. And as of today, just in America, this is record, over 500 children a year. 500,000 500,000. Some say it's up to 800,000 children that are missing a year. That's more than 1,000 a day. Think about it, you guys. Think about it. How much is it costing humanity? More than 1,000 children a day. They lie about alien agreement. But underneath that, this is what truly happened. This was the agreement. For more than 1,000 children a day, and they're going to say they're here to help humanity. Really? They were helping those that abuse children. They were healing the Satanists. They were helping Satanists. They were producing the supply. They were coming the victims and telling the victims that they have to stay there, that they have to believe this, that they have to cover for the abuse of innocence, because that's the right thing. Because they're going to ascend. Because they're going to ascend. They brought this evil agreement upon humanity. I'm just going here, American history. One of these days we're going to get into Vatican and what it is all about. So think about it. All of those like Conferius, you said David Wilcock, David Icke, Yaki, Alex Jones. And have you guys seen Alex Jones is now, how desperate are they? Because he's now calling in David Icke for help. They're losing control, right? Master slaves losing control. So what do you guys, they presented these healers? How were they healing the victims of this abuse? They were putting a bandage on a stomach ache. That's how they were healing. They were telling you, oh, I'm taking reptilians out, while behind your back they're putting a control system within you. They're putting programs to where you agree to being victimized. Because that's what they need. That's what the gatekeepers need. The gatekeepers need humanity to agree to be a victim. Because without humanity agreeing to it, how would they victimize us? They don't want to talk about empowering humanity. All these years, we're talking about healings. Reptilians, aliens, and all of that stuff. While covering for what? For underground genetic experiments on children and all other nefarious projects. Right? And then they have people like David Wilcock, Gary Cassidy, and on and on and on, Alfred Weber, on and on and on, all this scumbags out there that been bringing you all this, oh, I'm a master on this, what's going on with aliens and hybrids, protecting genetic experiments on children, on humanity, the genetic experiments with the mixing human DNA with animals. This is, and they're going to go ahead and tell you a story like Alfred Weber was telling you a story that there is, hybrids here. They put on pedestal the abuse of humanity. Why? Why? Because they're protecting those activities. So what did Laura Eisenhower told you for over a decade? Humanity. Did she tell you about 1,000 children a day that it's costing us right now, that her grandfather's agreement costing 1,000 children a day for Americans? Has Laura Eisenhower told you about how to help humanity to stop that? Oh no, she told you stories about ascending to freaking Mars, didn't she? Of course she did. Of course she did. There's your mafia that protects the blood market. There's the mafia. So sick. So sick. They're going to stand out there right now. So what did they did? Like I said, Carrie Cassidy, what did they did? Every one of those people, if not all, most of her so-called whistleblowers are the ones that commit those crimes against children. And then they go out there because they have to create this flu-fla about, oh, there's aliens in underground facilities. And there's experiments on children. But oh, they're going to talk about aliens, right? Again, it's costing 1,000 innocent lives a day. Go ahead, Laura Eisenhower. You're so divine feminine. You're ascending to Mars. You're divine feminine. You divine feminine choking in children's blood. You're choking in it, Laura. Enjoying your fame? Enjoy your fame, scum. You're choking in children's blood, all of you. All of you. Because you protected your money and you protected this network. That's what they do. They're going to tell you they're healers and they want to help humanity and they want humanity to ascend. Really? Ascend to where? Where, Laura, are we going to ascend so we can be in denial of the more than 1,000 children a day? Is that why we need ascension? So we don't pay attention to the blood running beneath our feet. Rivers of blood, Laura. But they are going to tell you about ascension. Oh, these people are making me sick, you guys, because you will see, and it's going to come out. It's going to come out what they're protecting. Because you know what? Once, like I said, once you get to this point of wellness, you become a warrior. because you're not going to use your ancestors like Steve Richards, or whatever his name is, with the holographic kinetics, to make a buck or two of blood money from your ancestors. True divine human being is not going to do that. A divine human being will stand up for the ancestors, will stand up for their suffering. And true human being will stand up for the innocent suffering today. But go ahead, Laura. Give us some more of the stories, how we all gonna ascend to Mars. Oh, we're ascending to Mars, or the light language people. All of you that speak that light language, you are so disgusting, because innocent blood, more than 1,000 children a day, but you're gonna sit there and talk less like that's helping. How's that helping? How is that helping? How is that helping? It's not. The light language is bunch of bloodsuckers. But I'll get to them eventually. I know that language. It's the demon language. So they think they're gonna please demon? So I went over an hour. But if you think you're gonna get to wellness with those retards, ascending to Mars, go ahead, please. And this is what I say. Like when originally Lisa Harrison went on with this Alilu Kool-Aid, I told all these people when they started coming to me and creating chaos in my journal, I said, I don't talk to you people. This is not for you. This is for those that know the true wellness. Because you drink your Kool-Aid, go ahead, please. Drink your Kool-Aid. Believe in whatever you want. Because ultimately, the truth, we all knew the truth will set us free. We needed to have faith in truth. And if you hold truth in your heart, if you hold truth in your heart, you will always prevail. Truth always prevails. And this is why I want to talk about the very foundation of this wellness, spiritual wellness today. Because what we've had is we had this imposter God and the God program running it. But no more. No more. Eve Lorgan, Amy. Eve Lorgan, holographic kinetics, spreading crap, covering. Sorry, Eve, but enough is enough. You know? And they dare to call themselves divine. Those women that are covering for such atrocious crimes that are committed, but they're covering because it works for them. Right? They're helping. Long list Long list. Yep, long list. But aren't they panicking right now? Oh my God, this is way over an hour. You guys, well, anyway, I'm way over. But I just want to recap quickly, okay? So, equilibrium, and this is how standing in equilibrium and having this ability to sort of stand in this eternity is what gives us the capability of having this balance and having the wellness or the foundation of true wellness then to build from and then to build our reality from within out. And this is the new timeline. We're building it. And this is what I wanted to talk about, creating this foundation for each and every one of you to where you know your truth and you building your reality on this basis, on your truth. And so as each and every one of you shamans, you have your own divine purpose here. And so your sort of reality is your reality, but it will always be has to be built on this foundation of true wellness, because you know and you recognize your connection to eternity. And that's why I said, when you know your connection to eternity and that you are eternal beings, you'll not allow the suffering to go on. And worse than allowing is willingly and knowingly covering for it. And that's why I am being so censored. Okay, you guys. So, Jeff, mahalo, aloha, aloha. Yes, reptilians possessions. Yes, and a lot of those healers are actually responsible for tagging people or having creating the belief structure. So when you go to healing, like holographic kinetics, every time you go for a session, each of those holographic kinetics practitioners, they're required by Steve to infect each and every one of their clients with that, with the reptilian. These people think they're clever. But anyway, you guys, I'm way over. So you guys, I will continue on this. This is just kind of sort of beginning, and I kind of went into some things that I didn't think that, but this is live journal. It is what it is. I love you all so much. And until next time, I will continue talking about this foundation. So then we can start celebrating this, because we're it's springtime, you guys. Manifesting time, manifesting time. All right, darlings. Thank you so much, everyone. You enjoyed the rest of the day. And until next time, stay wild, everyone.